Join me as I dive deep into my own experiences to figure out what's really going on with depression and anxiety. When it comes to mental health discussions, two topics often take center stage: depression and anxiety. They're two of the most common mental health conditions, affecting millions of people worldwide. But why are they so important to understand? For starters, they're often cited as two of the leading causes of disability globally. That's right, disability. Not just a bad mood or a few anxious days, but actual disability. And yet, despite their prevalence, many of us still don't fully grasp what they're all about. It's easy to see why understanding depression and anxiety is crucial. Not only can they compromise our quality of life, but they can also affect our relationships, work, and overall well-being. The trouble is, when we talk about mental health, we often lump these two conditions together, assuming they're one and the same. But are they? That's what we're going to explore today. Think about it. How many times have you heard someone say, "I'm so depressed," when what they really mean is, "I'm feeling anxious"? Or vice versa? This overlap in language is just the tip of the iceberg. The truth is, depression and anxiety are often intertwined, making it difficult to pinpoint exactly what's going on. Let's talk about just how confusing it can get. On the surface, depression and anxiety seem like two distinct conditions. One's about feeling sad, the other's about feeling anxious. But what if I told you that some of the most common symptoms of depression, like fatigue, irritability, and changes in appetite, can also be symptoms of anxiety? And what about the fact that people with depression are often more likely to experience anxiety, and vice versa? So, what's really going on here? Are depression and anxiety two sides of the same coin, or are they fundamentally different? The answer lies in understanding the nuances of each condition. Anxiety, at its core, is a fear response. It's that nagging feeling that something's going to go wrong, that you're not good enough, or that you're in danger. It's like having a constant alarm bell ringing in your ear, telling you to be on high alert. Depression, on the other hand, is more about a lack of motivation, a feeling of hopelessness, and a general disconnection from the world around you. It's like being stuck in a never-ending cycle of gray skies and rainy days. But here's the thing. Anxiety can often be a precursor to depression. When we're constantly on edge, waiting for the other shoe to drop, it's only a matter of time before we start to feel like we're stuck in a rut. And that's when depression can creep in, making it even harder to shake off those feelings of anxiety. On the flip side, depression can also exacerbate anxiety. When we're already feeling down, anxious thoughts can start to creep in, making us feel like we're losing control. It's a vicious cycle, and one that can be incredibly hard to break. So, how do we break free from this cycle? The first step is recognizing that depression and anxiety are not one and the same. Sure, they can coexist, but they require different approaches. For anxiety, that might mean working on relaxation techniques, like deep breathing or meditation. For depression, it might mean finding ways to reconnect with the world around us, whether that's through therapy, exercise, or simple activities we enjoy. But here's the thing. It's not always a straightforward process. Sometimes, what works for one person might not work for another. That's why it's so important to have a personalized approach, one that takes into account our unique experiences and circumstances. I want to share a personal story with you. When I was going through a tough time, I thought I was just depressed. I felt hopeless, unmotivated, and disconnected from the world around me. But as I started to dig deeper, I realized that my depression was actually tied to my anxiety. I was so worried about not being good enough, about making mistakes, that it was paralyzing me. It wasn't until I started working on my anxiety, through relaxation techniques and reframing my negative thoughts, that I started to feel like myself again. It wasn't easy, and it took time, but it was worth it. The relationship between depression and anxiety is complex, and it's not something we can fully understand overnight. But the more we talk about it, the more we can learn from each other. I want to hear from you. What's your experience been like with depression and anxiety? Have you struggled to understand what's going on, or have you found ways to manage your symptoms? Before we wrap up, let's recap the key points we've discussed today. Depression and anxiety are two distinct conditions, but they can coexist and even exacerbate each other. Understanding the nuances of each condition is crucial, and recognizing their differences can be the first step towards finding relief. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, share it with someone who might benefit, and let me know in the comments what you thought. Also, don't forget to check out my other videos on mental health topics, where we dive deeper into the complexities of our minds. Thanks for watching, and so if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and click on the bell for more health tips and updates.